that?
Tell me who you are.
Who are you?
I don't know.
I'm your twin sister.
I'm your I'm your older twin sister.
Oh, here
8
we go.
minutes.
She cares
Get with
so
it.
much about the 8 minutes that exist.
It
It's really not
matters.
that. Okay.
I'm Malika.
And I'm Khadijah.
And this is Side by Side with Malika and Khadijah.
Don't forget to subscribe below so you don't miss any of our future episodes.
Who are you?
I'm Khadijah.
And Khadijah means what?
I believe Khadijah means conscientious.
Well, I am Malika. And Malika means queen.
Duh. You're totally the queen.
hard to
Mom
live
gave
up to.
you the name that absolutely speaks to your personality.
We're not from New Orleans. We really have never lived in Atlanta. We are born and raised in California. We are thoroughbred Valley girls. The annoying accents, twangs, and pronunciating every word is literally who we are and how we've spoken our entire lives. Regardless of how much she does not like to hear, this one, Khadijah, that's she, cannot stand that I am 8 minutes older than her.
It's not that I can't
You can't stand it. You don't like to hear that I'm older than you. The truth, I'm not saying I'm
Because we're
8
twins.
years.
We're identical twins. You were only born 8 minutes before me. And to be honest, the only reason why Malika was 8 minutes before me was because back 30 some odd years, I don't have to tell you my age, you didn't have ultrasounds the way they are today. So they couldn't tell that my mother was having 2 kids.
Look, we know the facts. The facts are you came 8 minutes later.
Okay.
That still means I'm 8 minutes older.
It just doesn't make her my big sister. It still makes her my twin
But the
sister.
way my brother always taught me was she was my younger sister, and I was always supposed to look out for her and protect her and take care of her.
And she still does. She's very much my protector.
you
You're
do
very
know
much.
that's never gonna change.
I know, but not my big sister.
My childhood, I was like my childhood, like as if I was by myself.
I was there.
Our childhood truly encompasses each other. Whether it meant sharing bedrooms or sharing careers or going to school together, we literally have shared the womb. I'm sure we'll share a tomb at some point also.
That would be interesting. We were raised in a 5-bedroom home with 5 siblings.
Yes.
And so our older sisters were twins. And then my mother had a boy in the middle, our big brother. And then came Malika and myself.
It was never quiet. It was always fun. And Khadijah's truly trying to mimic the way she grew up.
With my children.
True.
Yes, because it's all about having fun with kids. And I think the more siblings, the better.
My mom is truly in love with children because not only did she have 5 kids of her own with only 3 pregnancies, she also chose the career of being a teacher. So that meant she went out and then raised other people's children. In our household, with our mother, communication was a really big deal. It's like we could tell my mom the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of our friends always thought it was so weird that we would like talk to our mom about the stuff that we talked to her about, but not saying I was a great kid at all times because I really wasn't.
I was better than her.
She for sure was good, but most of the time when I was getting in trouble with teachers, I was defending her.
If I wanted to go to the bathroom,
And the teacher told her
me
no,
no.
I would tell her yes. And then she would listen to me. I was just I was very protective
yes.
over my sister. Even if there's someone else at school that was being bullied, I'd speak up for that person. I've just always been her.
Yeah.
But it got me in trouble a lot, but I didn't mind getting in trouble because I knew that I could go home and talk it out with my mom and she would understand where I was coming from. That only worked out some of the time.
Respect authority.
Yeah, that was tough for
was
me because I hate power trips still to this day. I'm very me.
And proud.
I think twins are a hot commodity when you're young and little. To me, that's when twins are the most exciting. You dress them the same and do all that stuff. And
It's like double the cuteness.
for sure. And I think being that my mother had 2 sets of twins, my mother started my older sisters in show business and they did modeling and print and stuff like that. And then when we came along, we did modeling and print as well, but our very first job was a baby born in an elevator on the 100th episode of Benson, which is no longer on, but I still get $3 or $4 residual checks every now and then.
And then before we knew it, as we got older, through auditioning and all that throughout the years, it turned into an actual like theatrical and movie career for us. So our humble beginnings as young child actors turned into adult careers for us. So we're thankful that our mom started us in the business so young?
Well, we actually went to the elementary school that our mother taught at for years. And then we went on to a middle school that was a performing arts magnet, swing of arts and dance and drama and all that
Sharpening
stuff.
our tools,
Yeah.
learning our craft. Those are like our best years of school, I think.
For sure, because I think that was the last time I actually cared to go to school.
And then high school came around and we tried it out. We tried another performing arts school.
True.
And then we ended up just going to homeschool because we had this lovely resume and we kept acting, and it turned into us needing to actually work more
Take
than
it
being at
seriously.
school. Yeah, the cameras kept rolling.
I would say our childhood was very normal. We just ultimately...
Like our high school didn't have a prom, but you got to go to prom.
Yeah, I mean, but I didn't miss that. I did red carpets. Like,
Yeah,
that was the best form
like
of
the
glam.
give and take.
Yeah.
You have to kind of not experience what normal teenagers do, but you kind of get this glamorized.
Yeah, and like
other side of your
my
life.
prom in my mind was like being on red carpet with Kurt Russell. Like, you
That
know,
was fun.
for my first film ever.
We had a really big.
Not so mad you didn't have your own prom.
Yeah.
When you're doing what you love as a kid, you don't realize it's a job. And then you become an adult and you have, well, a young adult, and you have to start making decisions about what you want to do with your life. Our mother was like, so what are you guys going to do? Are you going to college? Are you whatever? And we were just like, no, Mom, not college. We really just want to work. Just like audition for the things that we liked and we loved. And one day a script rolled across us and we booked the job. It was Sky High, a Disney movie. It's like, first of all, who's a superhero on their first film? I thought that was pretty
doesn't
classic.
happen.
And then you look up and you go, wait, hold on. I actually really like this. I might want this as a career. And then you look at each other and you're like, okay, so this is our career? Is this what we're
So
doing?
we're really gonna do it? We've always said this, okay? So we're twins, duh. But we were like, gosh, wouldn't it be so cool to have a triplet? So we've always thought, wow, if we had a triplet, that'd be amazing. Well, in this specific film, our superpower was we multiplied. That was like the coolest thing we could have asked for.
We loved show business, and that was pretty much where we decided we were gonna stick.
Yeah. And then ATL happened. Well, we auditioned. And we did not think we were gonna get that movie. We went in so many times. I think we saw the director maybe 3 or 4 times.
Something like that.
One time we auditioned and he stared at the script.
The entire time. The most intimidating
thing.
thing ever.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, we surely blew that one.
Come to find out, after we booked the movie and we're in Atlanta,
He couldn't look up because he would have smiled.
he
That
didn't
was
want to
good
give
to
it away.
find out.
He liked us. And I think that's really when we were like, oh, okay. It's not just what we did while we were kids. Now this is actually what we're gonna do for a living. It bloomed into, now we're gonna dabble in reality a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, well, now it's much bigger.
12 years later.
Cartoon.
You had 2 cartoons.
I had 2 cartoons on Disney for a while, so I did voiceover for a long time.
My favorite was she was the Valley Girl penguin on Happy Feet.
Yes.
I'll never get over that one. I went to work with her every day
Yes.
because I didn't have a job. So if Sissy had
My
a job,
job,
I had a job.
Your job was being there with me.
I used to work for her at one point. I did.
I've always worked for you, so it just
Yeah,
it was
but at
only
least
right.
you paid me.
If you booked a job, we booked a job.
True.
And we're going to work together.
That's always been true for us.
We've had one big fight. I think some people will find that really hard to believe, though.
But why don't I remember?
Because
Was it my fault?
We had a reality show on E called Dash Dolls. And
It was my fault.
it was Malika's fault. But
It's always my
in her
fault.
defense, I think I had just had Celine, right?
Yeah.
I just had a little girl and we were doing a photo shoot with a very risque photographer that was amazing. I wasn't very secure with my body. I was maybe 6 months postpartum, right?
But that wasn't really communicated to me. So when we pretty much said, yes, we're gonna do this shoot with this Playboy guy, I thought we were actually gonna do the shoot. And then when we got on set, we didn't do the shoot.
Well, we did the shoot. It was like, oh, hold the sheet like this. And then it was like, drop the sheet. I was like, I cannot drop the sheet. It's like, well, you said you wanted to do the shoot. And I was like, but I didn't know I was gonna feel like this about it. I didn't know I was gonna be not so comfortable. So it was like one of those things in the moment where we just had to realize that like we're getting older. It was miscommunication. It was, we're gonna have different comforts and boundaries even when we're working together, and we have to communicate
that
and respect
as well.
each other. That was our only fight.
No, I remember that one now. I probably tried to forget it.
And my mother, like it's not your mother. Our mother was devastated.
It's true.
Because we didn't talk for how many days?
I don't know, like 3.
I mean, you would think somebody ran over my puppy right in front of me. I was distraught. It's like, I can't believe Malika would not side with me. Bobby was like, oh my gosh.
Dramatic.
I can't take it. Like, please come talk to your sister. He was like, I cannot wait for this fight to be over. But everybody in our lives was like,
stop fighting.
You guys had a fight?
Like,
when
no,
have
we
you
don't
guys-
fight. We do not fight. That's just not something we do. This one just blew up fast.
Yeah. You said some really mean.
I was,
But forgiven. Long time forgiven. Love you.
I'm your big sister. You have to forgive me.
Oh, gosh. So our day-to-day lives have become rather different. I am married with 3 kids and dogs and side animals, and I think we're gonna get a cat, but that's off track. We just have, like you say, you call my house the circus. Like my house is very busy from sunrise to sunset. Like sometimes I leave the house to go to her house just to have peace and quiet.
I guess the way my life would differ from Khadijah's is I do a lot more of what I want to do versus what I have to do.
Yes.
My have to do's are going to work. My have to do's are photo shoots. But for the most part, I actually envy a lot of her life because I'm pretty tired of being as selfish as I have been. It gets a bit boring. I'm like an epic party of one. Like I've mastered a party of one at the movies, a party of one at dinner, I've party one it up. I've done it all. I've gone on trips by myself.
Can't do it.
I mean, and that's funny because I always encourage kids, you're like, you know what, just go have a meal by yourself. And she looks at me like I'm speaking a language she does not understand. But I'm like, you won't know until you try.
I find that very uncomfortable. I don't know if it's because I'm a twin that I'm so used to having someone. So it's like now I have kids, so I just have all these people that I get to love on. So it's like, I don't want to not love on them and go sit by myself. I just can't do that.
She literally replaced me with her husband.
Well, I don't know if replace.
I was kidding.
She was like my husband in California, and then he was my husband somewhere else. I decided to try the wife mommy.
No, that's how I went from like one security blanket with my sister to my security blanket with my best friend. Because I really had the same attachment issues that you had, just in different ways. So I've got 2 in my life.
It wasn't easy, but we did it, and now we're back and closer than ever. Don't you get nervous now. This is your moment.
My moment for what?
It's your baby moment. It's been like almost a decade of me having a family of my own. And it's been interesting because my sister has always been such a huge priority. And
I'm Auntie Mommy.
Yes, that's Auntie Mommy. That's like the 3rd parent in our household. So I think it's really exciting that our worlds are kind of changing and colliding in a good way.
Yeah, I guess I really can't be as selfish as I have been, which is a celebration for me because I'm soon to be mommy.
Yay! That makes me the auntie. Auntie Mommy. Finally, I get to be Auntie Mommy. Because this is going to be my baby.
So awkward.
She loves it.
I like being touched, though.
We're so excited to share these details about our lives and so much more. So please comment and let us know what you guys thought about our show Side by Side.
And also let us know if there's anything else that you would like for us to touch on. Love, beauty, babies, family, friendship.
The works.
If we whisper, they can't hear us. That thing might make a difference.
Or the mic's in there. I know, I just did this mic. Trapped my. See?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that on
I wanted
purpose?
you to see. That was stupid. That was dumb.
You wanted me to see what I knew was already going to happen?
See, there's hair in there. Sorry, Ty.
That's gross.